everyone, thank you so much for stopping by. And first off, I want to say so sorry that my Christmas stuff is still up in the background. I've been meaning to take my tree down and clean up my decor, but I've just been so busy. I really haven't had time. So I'm just gonna enjoy it for a few more days, and hopefully next time you guys see me on here, this will be all cleaned up. But today I wanted to chat about what's inside this little bag. But before we get started, if you guys are on this channel, I'm sure you love luxury, you love handbags as much as I do. And if this is your first time here, welcome. I just love talking about anything luxury fashion handbags. Most importantly, I want to be able to showcase things that I have, do comparisons, unboxings, reviews, not just to determine and get your thoughts on things, but also if you guys are looking to purchase something or you haven't gotten the opportunity to see it in person, hopefully my videos will help you kind of make that decision of this has worked for me, what fits inside and all of that. So if you guys like content like that, please consider subscribing. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, please check me out. I'm going to drop my information here. But as you can see, I just like posting about things that make me happy, things that I see, things I come across, maybe my bags I'm currently using, and most importantly, meeting you guys. It's so nice to have a community where we can talk about the things we love, which are luxury and handbags. So please shoot me a DM or drop a comment below if you guys have any questions or just want to talk about the things that. First off, I want to say this video is a little different because it's not an unboxing or anything. This is actually a vintage piece I picked up that I actually sent to leather surgeons to revamp, I guess, in a way. And I'm going to go through all the details. So let's just hop right into it. So first off, this Chanel bag comes in a leather surgeon dust bag. Whenever you send off bags to leather surgeon, they actually don't want your piece in a dust bag because they'll, you know, give you one later. And I think it's just probably for in case they lose it or something like that. But, you know, just wrap it up really good, and I'll go through all the details. And the most importantly, why I decided to make this video is because I wanted to share my experience with you. And if you guys are looking to revamp any of your vintage pieces or just any of your bags that maybe need a little bit of love, this is a great place to, you know, take your bags basically. So I'm going to go through all of that, but let me just show you what bag it is first. And it is this Chanel Reissue classic flap. That's what it said on the description, but I could be totally wrong. But I know this is a reissue. So before I get started, I actually picked this one up from Hadrian from one of his live sales. So if you're watching, Hadrian, thank you so much. You always source the best bags, so I appreciate it so much. I'm going to drop his channel below if you guys are interested in checking him out. He's amazing and he has the best style, best taste. But yes, this bag, like I mentioned, is a vintage piece. I'm going to drop some before photos up here so you guys can see. So when I first got it, it was still in really good condition, but obviously this bag is vintage piece. So I actually didn't know much about it, but leather surgeons, they're so knowledgeable. And like I said, I'll mention all the details, but they basically let me know that this piece came out in the 80s. I don't know the exact date, but can you believe that? The 80s? That is so long ago. And the fact that the bag still looks like this, it just blows me away. And that's why I always preach and say vintage bags sometimes is the way to go, because you'll never, how often do you see a bag that is 30 years old that looks pristine? It's very hard. And even before I sent this to leather surgeons, it was actually in really good condition. I just wanted to kind of, you know, bring it back to its 100% life. So, and plus I wanted to try them out because in the future, I would love to, you know, work with them again on future bags. But like I said, here's the before photo. So you can see the color. I mean, obviously the bag is vintage, so the color, it kind of lost its color. So this bag, as you can see, is a navy blue, but in the photo it looks very black. And if you were to see that bag in person, like obviously the hardware is, it's a lot of it, like the steel was kind of coming up because like I said, it's a vintage bag. So a lot of the hardware has been chipped off, but you can still see the gold because innately the bag is navy blue, and the inside, I'll show you. So you can see I got this bag back and I haven't actually used her yet. But yeah, the inside is same color as the bag on the outside. And it is the Chanel red, like maroon red in the inside. And here is what she looks like. So like I said, this bag originally, because it's from the 80s, you won't see this very often. So you'll see the reissue chain, but the CC is usually not a CC, right? It's just like the bar clasp. So, you know, just your traditional one that you'll see here. So when you see one that has a CC with the reissue chain like this, you know that the bag was most likely in the 80s, and that's why it's such a unique piece. And what I had them do is, it was so important to me that they did not repaint the bag per se, and I wanted it to just kind of lift up organically what it already is without doing much to it. So I had asked him and I said, can you just kind of condition and take off the dirt on the bag and then pigment where needed, but when it's not needed, don't put any coloring or anything like that. And honestly, the bag didn't need much. It just needed a lot of conditioning and washing. And then the inside, which I'll show right here, there was some like staining, but now he was able, and again, not repainted, but he was able to wash it out by just cleaning and conditioning. And I did do a little extension on the chain. This bag organically was a chain that if you were to wear it, it would be like one strap here. So when you wear it, it basically sits a little bit longer than this, but too short to crossbody. And it wasn't like two straps like this, it was one. So I did have them extend it so I could crossbody it, because you guys know I love my crossbodies. But I had them leave the original chain on and just put on the extension. And then what I did was have them redo the hardware in 24 karat gold. So what was amazing was, so this does take a long time to do, but I get it, because, you know, I'd rather them take a long time and really put that effort and thought into it than just like half, you know, do it super fast, send it back to me, and it's not done in pristine condition. So Gary, who runs Leather Surgeons, he called me. I actually missed his call many times because I thought it was, initially I thought it was like spam or something, so I never picked up, but then he left me a message, so I called him back. So he is the one that actually does all the bags, and he called me and we chatted for like a good 30 minutes just about like his process, and I had questions for him. He said, you know, did you want the chain a little bit longer, because what you had described is a little short, and I told him I like shorter bags that sit higher. So I told him to leave it. I said, but make sure it's important to me that you're just conditioning and not repainting the bag. So he understood that. And he was like, I rarely see a bag in this kind of condition, especially from the 80s, that has the CC and the chain. So it's such a unique piece. And he was like, this is a, you know, 100% authentic, because, and I knew it was because Hadrian had told me, he gave me the authenticity card and where he purchased and everything. So I already knew, but it's nice to hear that it's just that double guarantee. So I have 2 sets of authentication, because Leather Surgeons will always send you a certificate of authenticity if, you know, your bag comes out authentic. So that's good to know. But yeah, so he had said, do you want me to put the 24 karat gold on the hardware, or did you want it to be more like toned down? Now, you know how I feel about 24 karat gold. I mean, who doesn't love 24 karat gold? And Chanel doesn't even do that anymore with their hardware. So I was like, yes, please coat everything, because I want to make sure that the gold pops, right? So it is a little bright, I will say. So let me just show you close up. Here is the chain. Here's a picture of the before. Here is the CC class. I'll just walk you through this really fast so you can see, look at that shine. And then again, it's just same thing, it turns. The inside is amazing. It has an inside zip. I mean, everything that the classic flap would have. So this one doesn't go all the way in here. This one just has this right here. But the inside is so soft and supple. And then right here, we have, again, this little flap here. And then we have this. And then, of course, it has the basic Chanel inside pockets. Take out the stuffing. Like it is so beautiful. And any like, basically once they handle your bag and they start conditioning everything, if you have like any like, you know, like vintage smell or just anything that doesn't feel like a new bag, they kind of just like wash that away. So I would think that this would be a new bag. I cannot believe this bag is 30 years old. So I did write them when I received the bag because my first impression was, wow, is this my bag? It looks so good. And it's hard to tell on camera, but when you feel it, you can tell it's original leather. It's not, I don't know if you guys have seen like bags that been repainted before. When you feel it, it feels like almost like there's like a coating on top and just doesn't feel like that Chanel leather. But this one still feels that way. And you can even see because it has like that leather crinkle in the back a little bit. And again, he had confirmed that all he did was condition and put pigment where needed, which was basically just the sides. And then this is the bag originally. Again, here's the top part of it. And I love this clasp right here. But I did write him a follow-up email, first of all, to thank him because it was nice to chat with him and really hear about the heritage, about leather surgeons and all the bags he's worked on before. And actually, I believe his sons like run the business with him. So his sons are the ones that are like answering the emails and helping him like manage everything. And he's the one that's actually like crafting and putting like the detail into all the bags. Now, I had asked him, I said, oh, wow, because I've actually never seen a 24 karat hardware in person. I've never gone through leather surgeons or any other similar third parties when it comes to kind of like revamping your bag. So I just wanted to know, like, because this was really bright gold for me at first. But he had told me that's what 24 karat gold is. When you feel this, there's so much weight to it. It feels expensive. And obviously, if you're using a Chanel bag, that's important. You want it to feel substantial, right? You don't want it to feel flimsy and cheap and used. You want it to feel like really luxe. And that's what this is. And like I mentioned, I added a chain, but the original one is still on here as well. So, what he had told me was the reason why, if you look on any, you know, consignment or vintage shops, their 24 karat gold will look a little bit more muted. It's not fresh, as in like it's been used. And obviously like the more you use it, the gold will mute down a little bit and it'll look more brassy per se over time. But because this is just came back from the shop, this is very bright. And same with the blue, like eventually more wear, I think everything will mute down a little bit to what you'll see in the original. So, you know, he guaranteed me, and he was so great. I wrote back this email and I almost want to like go through it because I said, I've never seen something with the CC like this. So I'd asked like inside the marking on some of the authentic bags, if you look, sometimes there's a little number here. This one looks like this. And he had said this series right here from the 80s, this particular one does not have that hallmark stamping. Every series kind of has a different hallmark stamping. So he had gone through details with me and he guarantees that this is the original, like that's what that backing looks like. I asked him about the pigments. I said, I can't believe that the bag looks like this. Now, did you guys repaint it or how did you get it to look so good and feel so soft? And he said, it's because it's its original color. We did not repaint anything. We just conditioned and brought pigment out where needed, which is mostly on the corners and the sides. And, you know, if you condition and clean your bag properly, it should look really supple like this. And then I asked him about, you know, what does it look like when people re-dye or repaint or just like re-dip their bags? And he said, you can clearly tell, but sometimes places that do it really well, some people will resell repainted bags and not even disclose it. So you may not know because they do it so well, but he says he's seen in many consignment stores, probably like more than half of the bags have been repainted, but without people disclosing or knowing. But he guarantees that this one is not the case. So that was good to hear. And I asked about the 24 karat plating, and he had said, we did not replace the chain, we just extended the chain. And he said, this is the same 3 microns of 24 karat gold the bag was manufactured with. And then he says, you're just used to seeing vintage bags where it's been worn, so the gold is muted. And he said, but guarantee that this is the original 24 karat gold that Chanel used in its original setting. And then he says, if you want to get a more like muted finish, they would use less 24 karat gold, but then also that's giving you less of what you're paying for. So he always recommends being able to put more 24 karat gold, and as you use it and you wear it, you're gonna have that longevity of the chain, and you're gonna also just have more durability with it. So that was really good to hear. And I'm just, like I said, their customer service, it's impeccable. It's so amazing. I would definitely recommend them. This cost me, I'm sure you guys are wondering about pricing. So this bag with everything, with the chain, with the 24 karat gold, with the conditioning, cleaning, pigments, and all of that, I believe was around $300, which is such a good deal because I got this bag for a pretty good deal originally. So with that, I was just so amazed at, you know, what this is. And obviously we know classic flaps, even reissue classics, they're just so expensive right now, as you guys can see. So to be able to get this, I'm really happy about. So let me just show you what it looks like on. Wear it as a shoulder like this, which is super cute. I personally, you know me, I love a good black bag, and I still want to add the Chanel Caviar to my collection at some point. But, you know, there's something about lambskin that's just so luxurious. And especially the lambskin from the 80s, 90s. So I extended this, I think, to 17 inches. So it is a bit longer, as you can see. I probably should have done it higher, to be honest, but it's okay. So yes, I did extend it so it sits right here. No, this is a good length. It like sits right here on my hips. And he actually was like, do you want me to make it longer? And I was like, no, 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 I like it short. So this is what it looks like on the front side. But yeah, you can just see it's such a beautiful piece. I'm rarely am I really impressed with things, to be honest. I'm really picky about everything, you guys. It's like a good and a bad thing. Every time I purchase something from the boutique, or if I'm just buying things in general, I always want to like look at it really closely, because every little flaw for some reason I just can see and it bothers me. So I always try my best to, you know, look over things, and rarely am I ever impressed, because it's just a lot of things I feel like quality today is just not great. Even craftsmanship sometimes is not as good as it used to be. So finding someone like Leather Surgeons that really puts in that time and effort to A, write me emails, to like call me himself and like talk to me about Chanel bags. I mean, what more can you ask for? So yeah, I just think this is a gorgeous piece. Now, I still have that itch though, and if you guys haven't seen my 2022 wish list, I'm gonna drop the link below. But you guys, if you guys watched that already, you know I still have an itch to add the Chanel Classic Flap Caviar version, medium. So this is a medium size too. So I love this size. I just want a caviar version, and I want it to be black and gold. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about the caviar version I just really like. But how gorgeous is this bag? It is amazing. So lastly, I do want to say though, although I have not used this bag since it came back from Leather Surgeons, I am considering letting it go. Not because I don't think it's the most amazing, gorgeous piece and so unique. I'm actually not 100% sure yet. I'm considering letting it go, only because I really want a caviar classic vintage piece. Because I have my lambskin in my 19 already. So I don't know though, but because once he told me this is from the 80s and it's such a unique piece because the CC and the chain, it just made me kind of like want to keep it in my collection. And you know, like I'll always use this. It'll look so good. Actually, I'm going to put a coat on and show you what it looks like. So here it is with a coat. Like, how cute is this bag? It's like the perfect length, because the reason why I did make it a little bit longer is I was thinking about winter and fall, wearing coats and being able to pair it with this bag. And then that blue and green, oh my gosh, it looks so good. So yeah, you guys, I don't know exactly what I want to do, if I want to actually let this piece go. But if you guys have been looking for something similar to this, and you are interested in perhaps adding this to your collection, let me know, drop me a DM. Again, I'm not like actively selling this per se, but at the same time I just really want a caviar bag. So let me know what you guys think. But either way, like, she's beautiful. Love her so much. Such a great piece and just great experience overall. I just had such a fun time, you know, working with them. And also my first vintage Chanel piece was this bag right here. So gorgeous, gorgeous. Lastly, I'm so sorry, this video is so long, so if you guys stuck through and you're still watching, thank you, thank you. But I do want to announce the giveaway that I ran, and congratulations to Ivy. She is our winner of a beautiful Sinbono bag that I will be shipping out to you this week, Ivy. So I'm going to head over to the post office right now. So stay tuned for that. And congrats, congrats. It's such a beautiful piece. You're going to love her. Other than that, you guys, that is pretty much it. Thank you always for stopping by, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.